Nice story.
So the first article is by Dr. Roshan Radhakrishnan, and Roshan is somebody who's been writing for us right from issue 1. In fact, even from the previous issue, Salt and Pepper, which was a complementary issue, which we took out before the first issue, which was in April 2013. So Roshan, we really love you. Here's his little bio. He's a doctor, a sitcom addict, blogger, and has been published in many anthologies, including the Chicken Soup series Urban Shorts and the national bestseller Love Stories That Touch My Heart. Each of his contributions to our magazine is most delightful. This is one of them. It's called The First Time, and Rudra is going to perform it. Rudra?
Rudra.
That's Rudra Joshi, right?
So, so I'm reading Roshan's story the first time. It was my first day in pediatrics internship after a relaxing month at ENT. The day had gone by pretty smoothly till the emergency call came to the department around 1:30 in the afternoon. There had been a premature delivery in the obstetric theatre, and the resulting baby weighed a mere 900 grams, just a third of what an ideal baby should be. The chances of the child surviving were meager, but we still knew we had to do what we could. A tube was placed into the respiratory tract to assist her breathing, and she was shifted to the ICU. Sadly, back then there were no ventilator facilities available, which meant the baby's breaths were in our hands, literally. Being the junior most in the department, or as of that day, the task of manually ventilating the newborn under the supervision of a senior fell to me. Very sorry. Minutes turned to hours, afternoon to twilight, as I continued ventilating the baby. Beyond the incubator where he lay, his chest would respond to my pressure on the back, lifting gently up and down with my efforts. My hands cramped and cried with the effort, and I remembered switching hands to relieve the other every 20 minutes. I also remember watching the sunset that evening from the window as hours continued to pass by, with no improvement in the child's vitals. Finally, my senior came by after his dinner to relieve me of mine. An offer I gratefully accepted. When I returned, he handed the bag back to me with words I still remember today. I don't think there will be a replacement needed for you at 10 p.m. Checking the vitals, I knew he was right. The child had deteriorated even further. Half an hour later, in spite of all of our best efforts, he passed away. While I was thoroughly demoralized, it was nothing compared to the wails of the baby's mother when we had to deliver the news to her. She had never even got to see her baby alive, as he had been taken to the neonatal ICU immediately after delivery. I remember marveling at the composure of my senior as he delivered the news, comforted the mother, and then moments later headed off for the next emergency, which had come, and handled it as if it were his first case of the day. It would be a few years before I would learn to develop that coat of mental strength that all doctors need to steel their hearts against the pain and suffering they see every day. But more than that, it is always another humbling thought that haunts me when I think of that incident. Of the more 11,000 evenings I have had the privilege to live in, I spent just a single evening with that baby. But this child spent every breath of his life with me. You always remember the first person who died in your hands. Perhaps that may seem more relevant to those not accustomed to the sight of death. But to us inside the hospital, the images may blur and memories may fade. But the scars of watching a life pass away always remain with us, whether we show it or not.